a musician, you have to always be learning and feeling like you're a student and learning new things and exploring new things. I mean, as a violin soloist, which I never like to refer to myself that way, but I play generally the same 10 to 20 violin concerti over and over again for years and years. So you need to find new things. That's why I'm doing more directing, and of course I've always done a lot of chamber music. But even the Bruch I've done so many times in my life, but here I get to do it without a conductor in the middle. So this opens up a whole new way of communicating with the orchestra. It becomes more like chamber music, and in a way it makes the Bruch fresh again for me. I enjoy this kind of program where I get to do multiple things. This program I know very well because the Bruch, of course, I've played since I was about 11 years old, and the Beethoven number 7 I've done a lot lately. The number 3, which is maybe the greatest, I don't know, and number 5, which is that may be the greatest as well. 3 and 5 and 1 and this year I'm doing 8. So I'm kind of making my way through the repertoire. The 7th though is the one I grew up. It was the first one I fell in love with when I was a small child. The 7th. So I feel it's in my system. I know it so well. You know, I'm not a conductor really by technique. You know, I conduct in my own style, personal way. Although I've worked with maybe thousands of conductors, and I've never seen 2 conduct the same way. So everyone has their own way. The important thing is to be able to convey to the orchestra the rhythmic impulses and the musical ideas, and hopefully I'm able to do that with this orchestra. They're very fast and very receptive, so that's a pleasure. I've been directing and playing many times over the years with the Academy of St. Martin in the Fields, which I've recorded the Beethoven 4th and 7th symphonies with. But when I lead them as music director, I lead the Academy of St. Martin in the Fields from the violin, and so I'm now transitioning into occasionally just directing without my violin, which is a fun thing for me to do. It gives me opportunity to show different kinds of things, and with a group here that I know very well, the Verbier Festival Orchestra. We also have a history of playing chamber works together and small symphonies, and this is the biggest sort of work I've done with them, so it's really a thrill. First of all, the world is very small now, so I live almost half the time in Europe. But for me, having a few places, and Verbier in particular, where I can come on a regular basis, because my life is so irregular, to have some places where I go every year if I can. And here it's been maybe 13 or 14 years I've been coming now. I love that, and see my old friends year after year. See the audience year after year. I get to know them, but also the programming is adventurous here. We could try new things. For instance, just a few days ago, I asked last year. I said to Martin Engström, who runs the festival, I said, you know, the piece I've been wanting to do is the Beethoven Opus 131 string quartet. Maybe the most difficult piece of music, period, for anything. But it's something I always wanted to do, and formed quartets will raise their eyebrows and say, why is he doing a late Beethoven quartet? But for me, it was just something for my musical development and curiosity. I wanted to study it, and so I got to do that here. He said, sure, let's do it. Did it here, performed it here, and it helps make me a better musician. I'm very happy about Medici.tv. I think this is really the way of the future. The fact that Verbier partnered with Medici so early on. I think it was a very clever idea, and I love technology, and I love that my family can watch my concerts home in Indiana, and they can call me up afterwards and say they saw me. And this is just becoming more and more the way of we live, and it's wonderful. I even had a concert filmed from my own house, which was really a blast, and I'd like to do that more in the future. I had a sort of a house soiree salon in my house, which was broadcast around the world.